Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday. Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to talk about our favorite movies that we loved as kids. Now, not all these have to actually be kids' movies. Depending on who's going to be on this podcast, we might get a wide range of movies. And my guess is, I don't know. I don't have any guesses because our guests are usually pretty good about surprising me. So we'll see what happens. But for mine, I think I have rather good taste, if I don't say so myself. But usually the movies that I really loved as a kid, I still enjoy. And my all-time favorite movie, this is my Desert Island movie, was also one of my favorite movies as a kid, and that is Airplane from 1980. It is the quintessential ridiculous comedy. It kind of started all of the parody movies that came out afterwards, you know, like Scary Movie and, of course, Naked Gun. But this is like one of those movies that are like non-stop quotable movies, and there's so many jokes that repeat viewing is necessary because you're inevitably going to miss something when watching movies like Airplane, and so that was why I would watch it over and over again as a kid, and I never got enough of it, and so that's why it was one of my favorite quotable movies, as most of my picks are.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Roger, Denver.
We have a visitor.
Hello. Hi.
This is Captain Over, Mr. Murdoch, and Mr. Basta. This is Joey Hammond.
Well, hi, Joey.
Come on up here. You can see better. Joey, we have something here for our special visitors. Would you like to have it?
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sure. You ever been in a cockpit before?
No, sir, I've never been up in a plane before.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Do you want me to check the weather, Clarence?
No, why don't you take care of it? Joey, you ever hang around a gymnasium?
We better get back now, Joey.
No, Joey can stay here for a while if you'd like.
Could I? Okay, if you don't get in the way.
Flight 209 to Denver Radio.
Joey, you like movies about gladiators? Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
Besides, I'm 26 and I'm not married.
We're going to make it. You've got to believe that.
Dr. Rumack, do you have any idea when we'll be landing?
Pretty soon. How are you bearing up?
Well, to be honest, I've never been so scared. But at least I have a husband.
Tighten me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
He said that he's in great pain and he wants to know if you can help him.
All right, would you tell him to just relax and I'll be back as soon as I can with some medicine?
Just hang loose, blood. Sugar to catch up on the rebound on the med side.
What it is, Big Mama? My mama raised no dummies. I duck a rap.
Cut me some slack, Jack.
Say Cuddy say be sure that they say
Chump don't want to help. Chump don't get the help.
say can't hang. Say 7-Up.
Jive ass dude don't got no brains anyhow.
Would you like something to read?
Do you have anything light?
Oh. How about this leaflet, Famous Jewish Sports Legends?
Yes, thank you.
Commander knows that plane inside and out. It won't crack under pressure.
How about Mr. Rogers?
Mayday! Mayday! Mayday, what the hell is that?
Mayday? Why, that's the Russian New Year. You know, we'll have a big parade and we'll serve hot or
Let them know what's going on. Chief, this weather bulletin just came off the wire. Johnny, what do you make out of this?
This? Well, I could make a cap, or a brooch, a pterodactyl.
What was it we had for dinner tonight?
Well, we had a choice, steak or fish.
Yes, I remember. I had lasagna.
The white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no stopping in the red zone.
The white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no stopping in the red zone.
The red zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. There is no stopping in the white zone.
No, the white zone is for loading and unloading, and there is no stopping in the red zone.
The red zone has always been for loading and unloading. There's never stopping in a white zone.
Don't tell me which zone is for stopping and which zone is for loading.
Listen, Betty, don't start up with your white zone shit again.
Passengers certain to die. Airline negligent.
There's a sale at Penny's. The oil pressure. I forgot to check the oil pressure. When Kramer hears about this, the shit's gonna hit the fan.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. He's coming right at us!
That is my all-time favorite. I do have honorable mentions that I will get into now. One is, if you've listened to this podcast, you know my love of the Blues Brothers. This was definitely the first rated R movie I saw, and I'm pretty sure my dad let me watch it because of all the great music in it, all the legendary R&B music. But the language at the time was rather salty, especially for a 6 or 7 year old. And of course, I did what any 6 or 7 year old would do, and that's repeat exactly what I heard in the movie. So anyway, that's okay. Quality over, bad words. And this was a quality film. I still love it to this day. In addition to the Blues Brothers, we watched that over and over again. Now, the other common theme with my picks is we would pick I would watch movies, not necessarily on TV, but we had my uncle who had HBO who would record movies for us, or we would have our home video camera to act as a dubbing station for our main VHS video camera, so we could actually record the unedited versions off of video cassettes that we rented. So definitely Airplane, Blues Brothers were two of those films. Ferris Bueller's Day Off was one that I would pretty much always want. When I was home sick from school, I would watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It is a super fun movie. It never gets old to me. Another great soundtrack, and I still enjoy watching it to this day. I've mentioned before Back to the Future. That is definitely one, the very first one that I would watch over and over again. I had the soundtrack on cassette tape, so I'd listen to it over and over again. But I'm pretty sure my uncle taped this off HBO. I did not see it in the theater, so I saw it. We rented it probably in 1986, so it was a year after it came out. And I would have been 8 or 9 years old, and so that was definitely one on repeat viewing. Of course, The Goonies, and I'm pretty sure Malin will pick this because he always said he was an honorary Goonie. But I adored The Goonies, and this was another one we recorded off video rental. And they were a little bit older than me at the time, the kids in the movie, but that is what you wanted to do, go on an adventure. Go into the, under that house and find buried treasure. I mean, what kid wouldn't want to do that? And again, all of these movies to me have stood the test of time. They're all brilliant movies. And lastly, and this might be a dark horse, but this is what really got me into horror movies, or at least the classic horror movies, and that is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Now, I always loved old-time radio, even as a kid, and I enjoyed Abbott and Costello, and so when my dad leaned more towards Laurel and Hardy, I enjoyed Abbott and Costello. They were ridiculous, and that was the point, but, a lot of Abbott and Costello movies are hit or miss, and this is pretty much universally regarded as their best film, and it's great because Bela Lugosi, I think, only played Dracula once or twice, and of course in the original Dracula, and so he reprised his role as Dracula in this film. You also get Lon Chaney Jr. playing the Wolfman, and then Glenn Strange plays the Frankenstein monster. So you have all three of the most well-known monsters in this movie, and the movie it's tame by today's standards, but it's still relatively scary, but it's still funny at the same time. So if you haven't seen monster movies before, this is a good way to ease yourself in, and that's what I did. So I loved this movie so much that I went back and watched all the classic horror films, and then often, at least at a young age, I found those to be almost boring because you had so much action in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, and you had all of the monsters together that I was like, well, I want Bud and Lou to be in there. But again, that was a gateway drug for me to get in all those classic films. And again, this is all thanks to my parents, mostly my mom, for renting these movies. And, that was a Friday night staple. And, the kids today don't understand what a treat it was to go watch, rent home movies. Because, if you only had TV, you were at the mercy of whatever TV had. And, a lot of times TV would play the same things over and over again. You had tons of commercials, and it was heavily edited. So the VCR was a wonderful thing. So streaming now, I mean, hell, you don't you don't even have to, it's on, everything's on demand now. It never used to be like that. So maybe this is why, these movies that I picked are in my DNA, because I had to watch them over and over again because I didn't have the wide range of selection that everyone else has now. One more pick, pretty much the Rocky series, the first 4, I watched on a continuous loop. And the reason I couldn't just pick one is because they were all pretty much equal in my mind. Interestingly enough, my favorite now is probably the original Rocky. I think that's the best well-done film. But it's also the slowest. It's really methodical. So as a kid, I probably lean more towards Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 because there was more action in it. Rocky 2 has always been... Rocky 2 is actually great. I mean, Rocky 2 it's not as good as the first one, but it's really well done. The problem with Rocky 2 is the coma scene, and that's what takes forever. And so I'd almost fast forward through that all the time to get to the training montage when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, I loved Mr. T. I loved Hulk Hogan, so that's why Rocky 3 was one of my favorites. And of course, Ivan Drago in the fourth one, and all the action and the music and everything, I probably lean towards 3 and 4. But as I got older and matured, I appreciated the first one that much more. All right, well, I guarantee we're going to get some amazing picks from people. This is going to be a fun subject. Let's see what other people have to say for this week's episode. All right, we're back with Sarah and Janice.
No,
I almost called you Jera.
Wait, can we just have our own Brangelina name?
Pretty much, yeah.
Together.
Jera.
Jera. Or is it...
She got it at Jera.
Shanice. Yeah, she's a 90s
no,
R&B.
but there's no H. Why are we putting an H in there? There's no
I don't know,
H.
because we're trying to be... some Sarahs have H's, but the dumb ones.
No, but yours
because it's silent, and it makes no sound, so why is it there? But I digress.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
I think we're talking about how wacko we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
But movies.
Favorite kids' movies.
Movies
when we were kids.
Yes.
Not kids' movies, because I can't stand kids' movies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's different. No, I'm just kidding. You go.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, you were going to go, so go ahead. You were on a roll there.
I just babble about things. Okay, so there was a movie that had Sarah Jessica Parker, who has the same horse face that I do.
Why the long face?
Why the long face? And it had Helen Hunt.
Yes.
She was like a bad girl, if you believe that.
Yes.
Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which was so funny. It was like the typical dance competition girl who's got the strict dad and freaking.
Who knew she could do gymnastics? I mean, that
was it really her, or was it like a body double?
No, it was actually her.
Interesting.
I remember reading about that it was actually her.
Yeah, and that one was like the one you watch when no one's home and you kind of start trying to do the dance moves along with it.
We didn't do it privately. We did it.
With friends
during the day and everything. Yeah.
But that one was one.
Shannon Doherty's in that?
She is? Oh, really?
She's the little sister of
the
guy.
Gosh.
She's the little sister.
Right.
Yes,
yeah, her face is really crooked in that one.
Yes.
Another one, though, that I watched was The Dark Crystal, which was Jim Henson's acid trip version.
Right.
Of, whatever, which they are making a sequel. So that's going to be kind of strange.
I remember even watching it as a kid, though, and not really getting what it was about.
I know.
I
kind of want to watch it again.
But I never really understood what the heck that movie was
And the
about.
never-ending story, I didn't really know. I couldn't remember. I just knew that there was the nothings, or those characters that talked about themselves in third person, or that one guy.
Where's the dog?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember going back and rewatching that, and I'm thinking I really liked it as a kid, and then watching it, I'm like, I don't know why I liked it.
Right, but we didn't really pay attention to, some of the...
Plot was not an important thing, anyways, as a child.
Right,
that was not an important...
That's very true. Yeah, there's things I've watched now, even, from, 5-10 years ago, I was watching... Oh, Starship Troopers was on. And I literally was like, this is like watching a whole new movie. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do not remember any of this. I'm like, I feel like my parents right now, because, I can't remember shit about it. So,
well, I'm gonna say Goonies.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, that is the best, and the one-liners that people still remember from that one.
Yeah.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
Goonies never die. That's it. Why?
Goonies never die.
I love.
know.
I love that when the freaking the big old pirate ship broke out of the rocks.
Yeah.
Dude, wasn't is it James Brolin? Wasn't he the brother?
Josh Brolin.
Josh.
Yeah.
I would not kick him out of bed for eating
I
crackers.
actually just saw him the other day. He was doing some costume thing,
Yeah.
and he dressed up as himself
Like
In
he
the
had
Goonies.
the whole that
Yeah.
that weird
Yeah, those, like,
And
exercise.
then he had the
Yeah.
headband on
Yeah.
his
Oh my
head, like
God.
he did in that one scene where
Yeah.
he's on the bike. He's on the little
Oh, right,
girl's
right.
tricycle.
Yeah.
And that, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, who was that? There was a girl in that who would play the friend of...
Martha Plimpton.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're,
I
like,
thought you were talking
freakish
about
about
what's
that.
her name, the green girl.
Carrie Green
Carrie
was.
Green.
She was
I
also on Lucas.
Oh,
that's
Lucas,
right.
Lucas.
Lucas was good, but that was so
Oh.
sad the way they, like, bullied him and stuff.
It is, but
It
Charlie
was-
Charlie Sheen was in
Oh,
that.
okay, you know
Oh, my
what?
God.
Great ending movies.
That is a great end. Yeah,
Oh.
the
Oh,
slow
we'll have to
clap.
remember that.
Yes, with
Oh,
the jacket.
You're
Oh.
right. Is that guy alive or he died? No, that was the
Corey
one that
Haim
died.
died.
Corey Haim.
He was so cute there,
Oh,
and then he
yes.
just took a...
But to bring it back to Goonies, you got the Coreys because Corey Feldman
the
is
two
in.
Oh my God, Corey
Yes.
Feldman was great.
Okay,
now.
who did you have a crush on though? Which Corey? Every girl had a Corey.
Corey Haim, I think.
I was Corey.
Of course,
Feldman.
because he's the
I was
biggest.
Corey
He was the.
Haim.
Which one was the train? Yeah, the one that was the most train wreck. The dead one, I'm sure, right? Because he was a
Yeah.
train
They
wreck.
were both train wrecks. They were
Yeah.
both drug addicts.
Right.
They did drugs together. and
Right,
that
I was
the
gonna
whole
say if there's
thing.
substance abuse issues, I'm gonna be like, "There's my man."
I know.
Fuck.
I was Corey Feldman.
That you know what? And then whatever happened to that kid, Data, the little what's
He
his
was
name?
in. He played
was in-
Short Round
in Raiders of the Lost Ark, wasn't he?
The second, no,
And the Raiders of
No.
Indiana Jones.
and the
Temple of
Temple
Doom.
Doom.
Yeah,
yes.
Dr. Jones.
Yes.
Dr. Jones.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
all he was in.
yeah, and Chunk didn't do anything.
My favorite scene in Goonies, though, is when Mouth, which is Corey Feldman, puts
Oh my
his
goodness.
tongue through the painting. He's like, "Make me feel like a woman."
Oh my God! I didn't even realize how inappropriate that might have been
Yeah.
back then.
Come here and make me feel like a woman. Come on, give me a nice wet licorice kiss.
And the mom, throw Mama from the train to.
Oh, she's great.
That
She's-
chick, whatever.
yeah.
What wasn't that woman in before anyway? Besides throw Mama
I think
from
she
the
was a
train.
character actress.
Yeah,
Like,
she was.
She was like one of those people probably that was really pretty when she was younger, but then.
I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure
so.
about that.
I'm just saying maybe.
It's kind of like the
No,
Wicked
maybe
Witch
not.
in the
There
original
was
Wizard of
something
Oz.
about the guy who played the ogre. What was his name again?
John Matuzak, and so he played for the Oakland Raiders.
I was gonna say he's a football
What?
player.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
he's
guy
a
with the
football
they
player.
put like a bad like mask
Everything
on him,
on
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
like
Oh, Rocky
Yeah.
Road, Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
You wanted Baby Ruth.
No. Well,
Remember?
not in Rocky Road Ice Cream.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Rocky Road.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, those were all the kids.
Well, and then Joey Pants who was eventually in The Sopranos and everything. He
Which one
plays
was
one of
that?
the Fratellis.
You're right.
And he's
Why do
pretty-
they always
so-
got to be stupid? Why
I
are
was gonna
criminals
say
stupid?
the one with the glasses though. He's like a pretty big
Yeah, no,
character
yeah,
actor.
Joey
yeah.
Pants, yeah.
Oh.
Was that his name?
Pantoliano.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm like his last name was longer than that.
Yeah.
He was
right.
He was in
Sopranos?
No.
Eddie and the
the
Cruisers.
Cruisers.
He
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
He was good. I liked him in that one.
Well, the other
I
guy-
have that on DVD. You can borrow it.
Oh, I love that movie.
And the
I
other
have
guy.
2 songs on my phone right now.
I have the whole soundtrack. Oh my God. Yes. If anybody else knows
What's
this
the
movie.
equivalent of a bro?
We are.
Yeah,
it's
the-
like, if we didn't have vaginas, we'd have a great bromance.
Well,
going
we
on.
already talked about that with your exercises.
With Catherine Hegel Kegel.
Catherine Heigl Kegel. Yeah,
That's her
Kegel.
name. I love
Oh,
it.
God, we should start that. We should start like that. Start trending that.
I hate Catherine Heigl because her name just sounds like something of an exercise. How did this take a turn for the
No,
worse?
no, you're welcome. This is your
Yeah,
wonderful host.
and
Yeah.
you're welcome. Yeah, it's good
And
shit.
then Robert Davi, who's the other Fratelli, he's like a lounge singer now.
Of course he
Is
is.
he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely,
I've
he
seen
is.
him in other things though.
Yeah, no, he's definitely
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
I just like Josh Brolin.
no, but
Yeah, well,
Goonies,
yeah, Josh Brolin,
Goonies,
yeah.
he's
Goonies
probably
is
the
a
most
good one.
famous of everyone in that movie.
You know what's
Sean
another?
Astin, you can
Yeah,
make an argument for
sure.
Sean Astin.
I remember as a kid though watching The Outsiders, and even though it was probably a little bit ahead of my pay grade, I was like, yeah, I could get it. Like I didn't realize how, I just was like, again, no plot.
No.
But the thing is, that's based on the book, and
Yeah.
the reason why my family even saw it when we were kids was because I think they were either in 5th or 6th grade, and that was assigned to them to read in school,
Yeah.
and so then we watched the movie. So
Wow.
I mean, obviously, they felt it was appropriate enough for.
And
you
kids
know.
are still reading that book.
Are they
It's still a
Yeah.
super popular book.
I'd like to
Yeah.
go back to 1984, like as in read the book that I was supposed to read that I didn't read then.
Who says you can't?
Yeah.
No, well, clearly I can.
Matt
Well,
Dillon
that's
was
'cause
in a
you're not
lot of
into it.
those
Yeah.
book movies, like Rumblefish.
Oh my God,
and,
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
And then he's a comeback. We got to write
Yeah.
him down
Yeah,
because then all of a
that's-
sudden
yeah.
he was not. You didn't
Yeah.
see him until.
There's something about Mary.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
There's
right.
another thing you do,
Yeah.
like a whole movies that like everyone went on to become like really big actors, like
When they
Outsiders.
started. Well, yeah, there was all of those.
But I
Wow.
mean, there's a bunch of movies like that, in
That
the
start-
80s that
Yeah.
started like people's
For,
careers.
you just
Yeah.
cross check every John Hughes movie,
yeah.
Yeah.
something like that.
Can you name everyone in The Outsiders?
You can go after
Emilio
yourself.
Estevez.
Yep.
Patrick Swayze.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Matt
Thomas
Dillon.
Howell.
Matt Dillon.
See Thomas Howell.
Very good.
Rob
Ralph
Macchio.
One more.
Tom Cruise.
I already said
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. No.
One more. We were talking about.
Rob Lowe.
Yes,
Yes.
and one more.
Oh God. No, nobody said him. Damn, who we're missing?
Patrick Swayze.
She said him.
Patrick Swayze.
Did you? Okay,
Yes,
then we got
yes.
him. And then it wasn't Diane Lane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Oh
was
my God,
Sherry.
Yeah.
She was Sherry.
She was also
Yeah.
in my other weird Streets of Fire, which nobody else has
Yeah.
seen. But you saw it?
Yeah, I've seen
Okay,
it.
you're the only person in the world besides my sister that's seen it.
Okay, who's
And
seen
me.
American Anthem?
I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
okay, thank you.
But you have seen Midnight Madness.
I have.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm left out of this group. Oh my
American
God.
Anthem. It was the movie that after the
We need
84
to-
Olympics
let's-
with Mitch Gaylord
Okay,
Oh, there
are
you
we
go.
just
and
gonna,
Janet Jones.
Okay, we're gonna have a night when each of us take a movie that none of us have seen and force it on the other one.
There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Torture Night 2017.
But we are gonna watch. Everyone's gonna be over. We're gonna watch Over the Top, and then live
And then we're
comment
gonna do
on
commentary.
It. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
We're gonna set up like the video
90
camera in
minutes
the
of
back
hell.
so you just see our heads.
Oh, yeah.
I love
90
that
minutes of
movie.
hell. It
Yeah.
wasn't even 90 minutes.
You're mine, Hawk. That's what we're gonna do.
I just want to know where the supervision was with that kid that he got on a plane and went to Vegas in white jeans, by the way.
That kid is such an asshole too.
And
Like, I
what
would've
has
left
he
him.
done
Yeah.
besides
Nothing.
anything?
I don't think
Yeah.
so. I don't think
He's
did
an
anything.
asshole, and the kid from The Toy,
Yes.
who did a porn.
He did, but he was also in A Christmas Story. That's the kid that got his tongue stuck to the pole, ironically.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
what I
likes
haven't
sticking his
seen.
tongue out,
Yeah,
apparently.
it does.
Because he did porn. Wacko the Toy was a good one. I forgot. All right, now I'm going to start packing them up.
And
for
that's
the next one.
that's definitely a racist movie.
The Toy? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It absolutely is. I just thought about that.
Richard Pryor's The Toy.
See, I had a hard time watching some of those Richard Pryor, but anyway, that's a whole other.
I liked See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Gene
Gene
Wilder.
Wilder. They were in a lot
Yeah.
of Silver Screen.
Yeah,
I love that scene where they're in the detective is interviewing them.
Yeah.
I can't even recreate that scene, but
Yeah.
just that scene where the words are being misinterpreted because he's
One's deaf, one's blind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too freaking funny.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Or the scene where they're trying to take the pictures to the mugshots.
Yeah.
That's
What
a
was
good one
that?
too. When they're trying to take the mugshots
Were these childhood... Wait.
in See No Evil.
I haven't
See No
seen
Evil.
it. That'll be on.
We're
put
gonna
that on
make
the
you
torture
watch
list.
that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Okay. If
I
fall
own it.
You own every movie. Like, you would think that, like, there was when, like, Blockbuster freaking shut down, that he showed up and he's all, guess what? Search and seizure, bitch. I'm taking all your stuff. Like, literally, he foreclosed on all the
I did.
freaking
Well, he
Like,
doesn't have
Blockbusters.
American Anthem.
I don't.
Yet.
Or Midnight Madness.
Now you
but
just checked him, and guess what? He's gonna have it fucking Amazon shipped in
thank
3
you.
days.
On Blu-ray.
Taking a picture, sending it to your house, going, look at this, bitch. Oh my god.
On that note,
At the end.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're back with Maylin, and for this week, we're going to talk about childhood memories, but mostly movies that were our favorites as kids, and movies that you would, watch over and over again, whether because you just had it on video and that was all you had, or it just was on TV a lot, or whatever. So I'm curious because we're going to do different age ranges here, so we're going to be all over the map, hopefully.
Yeah, I was just telling you that I don't remember my childhood, and I really kind of don't. But I do remember, I think a lot of the movies I used to watch as a kid were on TV. And
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before. It's all like creature features.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have any like legitimate kids movies, but these are the movies.
No,
that,
they don't have to be like kid movie. Like when you were a kid,
Yeah.
what were the movies that you were
I
going
know.
to? Your
And
go-to?
this is just a disclaimer for the people who are listening who are expecting maybe kids movies from me. I don't think I was watching kids movies like. Not that I can remember, but anyway. So one of the first ones,
Yeah.
Dracula.
Yeah, that's the original from 31.
Yeah, absolutely. Bela Lugosi's
Uh-huh.
Dracula had like a huge influence on me as a kid.
Well, one of my honorable mentions was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That was definitely one of my favorites as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to have to include that one as well because. So I remember one of my earliest like creature feature memories is being at home on a weekend and my mom trying to explain to me what the Mummy was, and of course I was thinking, oh, it's some movie about a mom,
Right.
the
mom,
something like that.
yeah.
And she was trying to explain, no, it's a monster movie. I don't think I knew what a monster movie was even at that time. But anyway, I knew it was creepy.
Yeah.
And I knew what Halloween was at that point. So I had some idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Some really loose idea. I had no idea what the movie was. I think that's probably one of the first scary movies I saw, were like Dracula and The Mummy and Frankenstein. So those are my earliest favorite. Like,
we're
kids
the same way,
movies.
because that's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein was the gateway into all of that for me.
And for me, it was the other way around.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
I'd seen all of those movies before I saw Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein.
Uh-huh.
So that was like the cherry on top
Yeah.
of the Saturday morning matinee, like, Sunday for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just that movie. You know, it occurs to me now, it's a really, really slow opening where I guess Bud is down there in their security guards and the shipment crate with what Dracula's body?
No,
Or is it
it's
Frankenstein's body, but
body,
Dracula is coming to get
Correct.
Anyway, I'm just kind of remembering this off the fly, and it's this really, really long, played out, like suspenseful scene. And I just remember being really scared.
But the fun part
and
is like
having
the
a lot of fun
Wolfman's
with it.
like on their side. Like Lawrence Talbot is kind of there to help, and it's just it's really, and it's cool because Bela Lugosi actually came back to reprise his role as Dracula because he was only in, I think, the first one, maybe the first couple. And then it was always somebody else playing Dracula. So.
And I think with Bela, I think I've only seen him in the original and Abbott and Costello.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen, or if I did, I don't remember them. Because, you know, probably got hacks to play his role.
Yeah,
you know,
Lon Chaney Jr. ended up playing a lot of different. I think he played every monster. Like he played.
He was all over the map.
Yeah. So.
So Universal horror movies.
Yeah.
Okay, and then next, Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
That was a big movie for me as a kid. That was like something that, that was one of those movies we always turned on at like pizza parties or like babysitters would turn that on a lot. I think just to get us to shut up. And it worked. I mean, that always had my like rapt imagination and attention.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal especially. And then later Labyrinth, but I was older by the time Labyrinth came out.
Yeah. That was a big for my sister, so I ended up watching it a lot too. And that was the first time I saw David Bowie, so yeah.
Yeah, and that ended up becoming like the pizza, like weekend playdate
pizza
movie.
feature.
Yeah, it's kind of a pizza feature. I didn't like Labyrinth as much as Dark Crystal when it first came out. I didn't think it was. I don't know. As a kid, I didn't think it met like all of my expectations.
Yeah.
But the Dark Crystal, I just adored. That's kind of a dark film when you look back.
I know. Yeah, it is. It is. Jim Henson's the original vision of the Muppets was not the happy-go-lucky Muppets that everyone knows. It was like kind of that dark Saturday Night Live skits that they were doing back then. Like they were debut on Saturday Night Live, like in the early or mid '70s. So, yeah.
Who was the guy that did? I should know this off the top of my head. The guy that did Lord of the Rings trilogy, Peter
Jackson.
Yeah. Have you seen Peter Jackson's take on the Muppets?
I have not.
Meet the something. It's on the tip of my faulty brain. You should look it up.
Okay.
It's horrific.
Really?
It's really, really grisly. It's really nasty.
Interesting.
Not for kids.
Right.
But anyway, I don't know how to bring that up. And then, and then I guess later as a kid, The Goonies and E.T.
Yeah.
Those were all like really big films. I don't like E.T. that much anymore. Goonies is kind of hard to watch now, but yeah, that was the kind of kid I was.
Yeah.
I was into mysteries and mystery adventures and horror films. I still am.
Oh, yeah, I'm the same way. Not much has changed. Like my all-time favorite is Airplane. I could still watch that.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my all-time favorite as a kid. And so I had other ones I would watch all the time, like The Goonies, Back to the Future, things like that. And I still enjoy them today. So I think that's kind of neat.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Airplane. So I was under really strict, like, even though those movies are really dark, by comparison to a lot of other potential candidates, my parents were really, really protective about what we could watch.
Okay.
So I didn't see Airplane until I was a teenager. I couldn't watch anything that was rated R until...
Well, that was rated PG. Which is crazy
and
because there's nudity in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I had seen it on TV.
Yeah.
But I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of stuff. Most things, even like PG-13 was like controversial. Yeah, we had to have, like, some of those films had to get, like, previewed by my parents before we could watch them. Sigh. You know?
I think my parents were always quality over crap, so, like, you know, like, they'd let me watch Animal House even though there was nudity in it because it was just, it's a all-time classic comedy. So it just didn't bother him. And even though the Blues Brothers had foul language, like they were fine with it because the music was great. And even though I would repeat everything I heard.
Looking back, I'm not even sure what the standards were for my parents because, excessively bad language. I know that was like a tipping point for them, and maybe explicit sex as well. But
right.
I mean, I don't know because I didn't see the things that they did
until
later. But like, I do remember they let us watch Creepshow,
which is a crazy movie.
Yeah, but they talked us through it first. Like I think they had their own like little date night where they watched it.
Sure.
And they loved it so much that they showed it to us. But they walked us like they had talked us through it beforehand.
Right.
I think they just loved the individual vignettes so much that they kind of told us the stories before we saw the entire film.
Okay.
And then we saw the film, and there weren't really any surprises, but that was way more extreme than anything we'd seen on TV.
Right.
I don't know what they thought was okay about that in terms of like, now I wonder like what did they not?
What were the standards back then? Yeah.
Yeah, but cussing, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
We were not allowed to use any type of bad language.
Right.
Like, crap was over the line.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't say damn.
I couldn't either.
And the first time I did say it, I felt
you got
it. And it was at school.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you hear that?
Well, not from a movie, or maybe it was probably from TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because the worst stuff I saw was on TV first.
Yeah.
When we rented stuff from the video store, often it was like Disney stuff and those huge. You remember those huge like white?
Oh yeah, of course. The
big
cases.
packages. Yeah, those big huge cases.
Yeah.
I remember renting that stuff. I don't think I liked all. Oh, Watcher in the Woods.
Oh, okay.
That was good with Betty Davis.
Uh-huh.
That was a creepy mystery science fiction supernatural film that made absolutely no sense. And it's stupid. I needed to see better stuff as big. Either they weren't making it or they were making it. My parents wouldn't let me watch it, but yeah. That was my job.
But those are good ones. That's a good. I knew you'd say Goonies because Goonies was like.
Yeah, I kind of have to throw that in there. That seems like that was like later. That was like third grade for me.
That's okay. You're still a kid then. I would say everything up through high school, you're still a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I could probably throw in more then, but no, I think those are good.
Okay.
Those are good.
That sounds
I wonder
great.
if anyone else is going to mention like Universal horror films, except for you. Like, I'm counting on you. I know you did for the Abbott.
Absolutely, because that was, like I said, that was my gateway into everything for horror movies, like classic horror movies.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to hear. I know my mom's was like Wizard of Oz, so like
I've mentioned those before. I was like, how many times can I mention like Wizard of Oz?
Well, no, if it is your favorite, I'm hoping Enrico will mention Free Willy. It's got to be on there. So.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
yeah,
we shall see. But
cool,
great. Thank you, Malin. Guess who's back? You can tell by the giggle. She's back. No, she's not. No, she's just covering her mouth. There she is. It's Danielle. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. For this week's episode, we're going to talk about. Well, we might talk about a few things. You missed last week.
I know.
Which is the favorite.
Unfair.
But you got you misunderstood what character actor meant.
It doesn't matter. I could have like fixed my mind.
You could have. So maybe as a special treat at the end, we'll go into your favorite character actors. But for this week, we're going to discuss your favorite movie, even though you have plural on your list, of your favorite movies as a kid.
Okay.
And obviously you watched a lot of movies as a kid. So this is right up your alley. So you're going to find out. I'm curious what your list of favorite movies are as a kid.
My list is very innocent. So don't think about like...
I wouldn't think of anything different.
All the horror movies that I like.
Well, it's funny because that's what Malin picked. He liked a lot of the old...
I had like The Blob, like I said.
But that wasn't your favorite.
It wasn't my favorite. Like, I would come home from school and sit down and watch a movie. And that would not be the ones,
No.
Like... So, yeah, but I have a few.
What were the ones you would watch? You would look forward to watch over and over again?
Yeah. So it's funny because I was remembering, like, oh my God, I watched this one.
Yeah.
That's when I came back from school, or like summer breaks or winter breaks. It doesn't matter. So I think like the ones.
Okay. Plural. Yes.
I cannot make a decision, so I have a few. So no, this one is kind of. It's classified as horror movie, but I don't think it is. It's so funny. It's like The Empire of Ants.
I've never heard of it.
Empire of Ants, I think the name it is.
Okay.
And it's like, I don't know, something happens, the ants get big and they kill everybody in the city. But, you know, the people who live in the city, they...
it's considered a cult horror film from 1977.
Yeah, so it's super cool. So the queen ant is how we say, like,
yeah,
she released the pheromones on the, you know, the people who live, so they will be like calm and quiet, but they kill the population. It's super funny.
How old were you when you were watching this?
Very little, very young.
This says a lot about you.
Under 10 years old, for sure. Yes,
but Joan Collins was the main actress.
Yeah, it was fun. I remember. That's so funny because I remembered I have the movie in Portuguese in my mind.
Yeah.
Right? So.
But this was an American movie. Yeah.
It is. So once in a while I have this flash, like, oh, I watched this movie when I was little. Let me see in English what it is. So this one was
So have you watched it since? Like, when's the last time you...
No, I never watched it.
Should look it up. Maybe you can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. I should, yes.
Okay, so Empire of the Ants. So you're the only person that's going to pick that one.
Oh, are you kidding me? No, that one is a classic.
Oh. We're going to have to define classic.
Especially me who would like do the experiments with the ants
in my
backyard.
Oh, boy.
I would take leg by leg until
wow.
I'm not kidding. That's so mean.
Such a humanitarian.
I know.
What's your next pick?
So my next pick that I like it was Stand By Me.
Oh yeah,
I love this movie, and you know, I watched as a kid, and yes, I also like in winter breaks and whatever.
But even that, you know, it's about them trying to find a dead body. So we've seen a common theme here.
Hey, come on! I'm trying to light it up.
But I know there's a reason why you probably like it too. Is it's based on a short story by Stephen King.
Yes, and it's a lot about friendship.
Yeah.
You know, at such a young age,
yeah.
How loyal you are to your friends. So I like it, even though I didn't understand that at that time. I thought it was fun. See the boy full of that.
Oh, the leeches.
Yes, that was like the best scene ever. But
it's funny. Some people would pick one scene. You're picking the leeches.
Of course. Yeah. So, but now I understand why. It's such a it's a cute movie.
It is.
Kids,
it's a very good movie.
So I have another one that this is. Well, I have a few more ones. So I have Back to the Future as well.
Of course,
right?
That's one of mine. Yeah.
Yes. So, but you need to be aware that.
Oh, I need to be aware, huh?
When a movie is released here, it takes a while to go to Brazil by that time.
Okay.
Even like in the movie theaters. Now it's like it's released here, it's released in Brazil at the same time.
But back then?
Back then, no. And I watched those movies in TV.
Okay.
So, like Back to Future from 85?
Yes.
I may take like 3 years
to
watch.
So even to go in the theaters, it could take 3 years.
I could not go to the theater to watch Back to the Future.
Really?
I was too young for that.
Okay.
Yes, but I watched it
on television?
TV. Yes.
Okay. Like cable or regular television?
Regular television.
Okay.
Yes, we didn't have a cable until I was an adult.
So how would they do? Would they do subtitles or would they dub in the Portuguese language?
We have, you know, power in there. We eat with forks and knife, you know. Like
that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, do they put subtitles on the screen or do they dub in the Portuguese?
It's terrible. Yes, they dub.
So
you know,
Michael J. Fox sounds like.
Their mouth is still like moving.
Yeah.
They stop talking. It's hilarious.
Okay. But you get the gist of the film.
Yes.
Okay. What would you rather have? Would you rather have that or the subtitles?
Well, it depends. When I was 8 years old, I want to hear the thing, not read.
Okay.
You don't want to read when you wait.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, so I had that one, and another one that was super cute was Home Alone.
Oh yeah, and that one actually translated at any age because it's all the gags and everything.
Yeah. So it's super cute. I remember watching that like super young too. And I have. Let me look into my list, okay?
Okay.
So
you had a lot of favorites.
I do.
So these are ones you would watch over and over again on TV, or would you wouldn't tape them?
These would be on TV like all the time.
Okay.
Like Pretty in Pink, that is one of my favorites.
Pretty in Pink?
Yes, I love that. The guy from 2.5 Men.
Yeah, you're right. John. That's Ducky.
Yeah. And I love that.
So how does Ducky translate to? How does the name Ducky translate in Portuguese? How do you say that?
What do you mean?
His name's Ducky.
I don't remember. No, the name is would continue. Like
okay, so it'd be Ducky and
yeah.
Okay.
So I think the names like that would continue, but if it was weird, it would change.
It would just be Ducky, yeah.
So yeah, Pretty in Pink. I love it, that movie. I love it. It's so
So
good.
were you happy when she ended up with the...
No.
You rather have her end up with Ducky?
Yes.
Really?
Of course.
You're one of the few, because most people wanted her to end up with
To be
the
with
rich
the rich guy?
Well, yeah.
Oh my god, no.
You didn't
I would say something really mean right now.
You didn't find Ducky annoying?
No.
You didn't find Ducky annoying?
No, he was so cute. Oh, he's super cute. He was like my kind of guy. So I would never go out with the rich guy. I think that's why.
Okay.
I would never go out with the rich,
Right.
cute guy. I would go out with him.
But they were just friends.
But he likes her. Yeah,
He likes her,
He
but
really likes
she didn't necessarily feel the
Yeah,
same
but
way.
she broke his heart at the end. It's sad.
He ended up with Christy Swanson.
It doesn't matter. He wanted her. The other one was
He
just
seemed
like
very
about-
happy ending up with Christy Swanson.
Yeah, okay. I'll pretend.
Oh, sure. What's next on your list?
So the next one, and this is like a memory that I still have. It's so funny in this movie. So in the breaks, so on TV, are we gonna start like make me talk fast? I hope
No.
not. That's so. I'm kidding.
I
And
just
it's
edit all this
Monday.
out, yeah.
I spoke in Portuguese the whole weekend, so
You're doing very well.
I cannot speak English.
Pretty
today.
in Pink.
So, so they escaped to the Witch Mountain.
Oh yeah, Escape to Witch. It's a Disney movie.
Oh my goodness, I remember that movie because the first time I saw it, I would never forget. I came from school and I saw this movie. I didn't see in the beginning. The beginning, I saw like it was like everything was happening. You know, she could move the stuff and the ultrasound communication stuff. And I was like, what is that? That's so cool. And then my mom said, oh, we need to go out. I was like, no.
Yeah, I want to see the end of the
And
movie.
I didn't want to go. So we had to go to my aunt's house. And I got to my aunt's house. Turn it on the TV. And then she said, oh, the TV is broke. It broke my heart.
Because it wasn't like back in the day where you could put it on pause and tape it. Yeah.
We didn't prepare like to
No.
record.
Of course
she didn't know. No one knew. So, okay, I was...
So how long did you have to drive to your aunt's house? How far away was your aunt?
It was not that far. We would go walk for like 15 minutes. It was down
Okay,
the
so you
street.
missed 15 minutes of the movie.
Yes,
then,
I
yeah.
missed 15 minutes, but I
And-
could not go back home because I was like, what, 7 years
Right.
old? So I was there so sad at my aunt's house, and I didn't know the name of the movie.
Right.
What a frustration. I didn't have internet, so...
Okay, so well, here you had the newspaper that would tell you what was going to be on television,
Yes.
or on TV Guide.
Yes.
So how did you guys have the same?
We
I'm asking, I'm fascinated. You're acting like I'm not being condescending
we have
here.
magazines, newspaper.
I'm not
we have Playboy.
What's Playboy called in Portuguese? Playboy, yeah. I'm asking because I'm curious. I'm not being condescending.
Okay, just a little bit.
I'm not at all. I'm not being condescending.
So, yes,
Okay.
we did. So what I did,
Yeah.
because I was super bright.
Sure, as we can tell, as you're killing ants.
I looked at the newspaper, but no one had the freaking newspaper. Of course, everything goes wrong, right?
Sure.
So I finally found the name of the movie, and I was like, every Sunday, because on Sunday we would get all the week.
That's right.
Everything that would go, in the week. So I was
Yeah.
like, and then finally I knew the movie would be
But-
back on that day, because it was a very popular, common movie.
Yeah, it was,
Like,
it was a Disney movie.
once every 3 weeks,
Yeah.
the movie was on TV. So I watched the movie, and I was like, "Oh, super cool!" So I like it.
So you made sure you told your mom, "I'm not going to I'm staying here."
No, but I told her, "We're not going out, please. We're not going out."
And so you watched it and you enjoyed it. Right?
I did. The woman is alcoholic
Yeah.
now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, right. The Richard.
I forgot.
One
that.
of the little girl. She grew up and she's doing not so well lately, but yeah, the movie's cool.
So what was the main? Was there a main station that played movies that you would watch?
Oh,
Kim Richards, yeah.
Yes. We have. It's like here, Brian. It's not different from here.
I'm fascinated because you're acting like I want to know how it is. Because
It's like a square box. You have the control. You click, and they change the channel.
I hope everyone enjoys Danielle's episode. This is her last time on Damn Good Movie Memories.
No, we do have two major, how do you say, channels,
Networks.
network, whatever.
Mhm.
Yes.
I was just asking if one one network played more movies than the other? That was my question.
I think so. No, I think it's the same.
Okay.
It's all bad. We never care about TV.
I mean, we both grew up. You and I both grew up in the 1980s.
Yes.
That was our main era,
Yes.
in early 90s. And so I didn't have cable television. I don't know. Was cable television prevalent in Brazil at the time?
Not until, I don't know, I was
Fairly
older.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But our family, like my husband, we never cared about TV.
Right.
We liked movies
Yeah.
in general. So we would rent the movies, but not like TV.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
Like TV
It
shows.
was bad. Like soap operas and the stupid things that we have in Brazil. It's a big thing in Brazil. Like,
Sure.
We have all the Brazilians coming here and they buy the cable to watch the soap operas from Brazil. I never get that in my life. I watch the soap operas, but I stopped looking at on TV. I was 12, 13 years old. I couldn't stand it.
Right. You just want to watch movies.
Yeah, so I watch movies and
Seinfeld.
books.
and books.
And read books.
Okay, what else was on your
So I have, so my favorite movie from my childhood, like this is the number one. And
Why didn't you give me the number one to begin with?
Because it's like to build up the emotion. So, so my favorite, and I love the guy who is in that, but I need to find the name in English on my list, is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah, Rick Moranis.
I love that movie.
This makes sense because you're a physicist
right.
and a scientist.
So that movie is amazing.
It's fun.
It's fun, and when the kids are like, and you go in the garden, and you don't realize how scary that could.
Yeah, it was really fun. It's just the
dog,
the ants, and how he kind of makes the ant his pet and everything.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
I love the movie. I love the actor Rick Moranis.
Yeah,
he's super fun.
And he retired from acting because he had to take care of his children. So I guess his wife got sick, and
really?
that was one of his last movies.
I don't know. Because there's the sequels.
Yeah,
but I didn't watch.
I didn't either. The first one's definitely. I think what was the first one was Shrunk. The next one was Blew Up.
I don't know. Okay. And then he does it again or something like that.
Of course, it's a Disney franchise.
Of course.
So. But no, he's great in that. He's great in. He was one of my character actors because he was in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. He's
and
super
Spaceballs.
Cool. Yes.
So he's very good.
So, my actor.
Yeah, who's your favorite character actor?
I don't know the name, but is the guy. Come on. Is the guy from Matrix the one that has the sunglasses?
Yes, yes, not Lawrence Fishburne. Or you're talking about the villain?
Yes.
The villain.
Yes, what's his name? He's Lord of the Rings. He's in some movies that.
I'm glad you did your research.
We did the research.
Yeah, you're like the guy with the glasses.
The guy with
Hugo Weaving.
That it is.
that is actually nobody picked him. That was a good one.
See,
he was on The Hobbit too.
See, you missed that.
No, he didn't. If anyone's still listening, they just heard it. All right, that was a good list. I'm surprised because when you
why? Because why?
Because you
you
come
thought
up with,
we didn't have TV in Brazil. So
no.
I'm surprised.
Well, yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Do you guys have podcasts in Brazil too?
I think so. Of course we do.
Oh yeah, well we'll find out. Hopefully people will listen.
Of course we do.
Yeah, we'll
they're
see.
gonna love you.
Yeah, do they? Hope they have electricity.
Oh, he's so idiot.
All right, David's back. Welcome back.
Yay, I'm back.
So for this week's episode, we're gonna get back into your childhood. We're gonna talk about childhood memories.
Oh, childhood.
And your favorite movies as a kid, like the ones you'd watch over and over again.
So how young are we going? Like childhood?
We'll go from when you remember watching movies all the way up to maybe 8th grade. We can count high school if you want, but I would say.
So we're doing like kid, like elementary.
Sure. Yeah. But even if you want to get into middle school, I think that's fine. Okay. So the movies don't have to be kid movies. They can just be, because mine weren't.
Right.
We're all,
okay.
Should have been older. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then I think in that case, I'm prepared.
Okay, good. Let's hear what you got.
So much like yourself, I am a child of VHS era.
Yep.
And it was really just whatever VHS tapes that were there.
Yeah.
Or I guess probably whatever was recorded off of cable.
Cable, yeah,
was
exactly.
The things that were on like rotation.
Yeah.
But I remember it was funny because I was trying to think back when I was like younger.
Mm-hmm.
The two like cartoon movies that I remember being on heavy rotation were Brave Little Toaster.
Oh yeah.
And The Land Before Time.
Uh-huh.
but I have no recollection of what they were about. And so I went on the wiki today to be like, oh, I wonder if I'll remember it all. No recollection.
But you watch them over and over.
Yeah, and like Brave Little Toaster, I guess like he like sacrificed himself, and there was like this whole junkyard scene, and like the owner of the appliances was going to college with his girlfriend or something. I had no recollection of that.
Land Before Time was actually a pretty big
Yeah,
movie.
Land Before Time was a pretty big one too, and that one, no recollection.
No recollection.
But I still am positive, back at my mom's house, both of those VHSs are totally still in the
If you can
media
get a
center.
picture, I'll throw it up on the Facebook page. So that should be that would be the screenshot. So.
Yeah. So those were the two like cartoony movies that I remember.
Okay.
Always watching and being like obsessed about.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big Home Alone kid.
Oh yeah.
Me and my grandma would watch Home Alone 1 and Home Alone Lost in New York.
Home Alone 2, yeah.
Yeah, whatever that one
With
was.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry.
Rob Schneider's in it.
Yeah, they were both in 2.
Yeah.
That was in pretty heavy rotation at the grandparents' house. I was a big Ninja Turtles kid.
Oh, yeah.
So that first movie, huge fan.
Yeah.
Always
Live
watching
action.
it. As a kid, I really liked Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the
Ooze.
Ooze.
Was that with Vanilla Ice?
It was the one with Vanilla Ice. So good.
It is.
And then the third one, I had it on VHS, but I didn't watch it as much as 1 and 2. But looking back on them now, I think 2 was like pretty cartoonish.
Yeah.
The first one was like kind of dark.
It was
where,
dark.
Like,
Yeah. They almost going with the Batman vibe.
yeah, because I think Raphael was like beaten to shit.
Yeah.
And he was like recovering. And,
Yeah.
it was crazy. So that was a little dark. But then, what else?
When's the last time you actually watched 1 or 2?
I think I watched 2 more recently than I've seen the first one.
Okay.
Just like nowadays, but it's probably been at least a couple of years.
Okay. Does it hold up at all for you, or are you like?
I really like watching them because I like that they actually made these suits, and it's just like dudes in suits with animatronic faces and stuff. Like that was a lot of work back then, and now it's just we'll just
CGI.
do it all CG, and
Yeah.
it's like it's not the same.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
a good point.
I've watched both of those too, the new ones.
Yeah.
They're so bad, and even the second one, they're like, all right, it's just going to be a live action cartoon, and it's going to be zany and over the top, and it's still like it just wasn't fun.
No.
Like, it was goofy and over the top and silly, but like. It just wasn't fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're gonna do them, always make them fun. So
totally.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
And
So
then, oddly enough, all of the other movies that had the VHSs and we'll watch them all the time nonstop. Oddly, were all Tim Burton movies.
No, actually, that makes sense. I think a lot of people, like my sister, was way into like all of those Tim Burton movies.
Yeah. So Beetlejuice.
Yep.
I've seen it billions of times.
Yep.
What was the other one? Oh, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep.
I can't even remember how many times I've seen it.
Large
which
Marge.
is funny. Large Marge scared the shit out of me as a kid. When I was like young, I would have to have my mom fast forward over the Large Marge part because it was so freaky. And then I grew up and I could like watch it.
Sure.
But Pee-wee's Big Adventure, loved.
Did you like Big Top at all?
That's the thing. So I've seen Big Adventure billions of times. Big Top, I think I only saw once like, as a rental.
Yeah.
And just like it didn't click for me.
No.
It was also like kind of that era of when I was still young enough to where I could kind of gauge how other people viewed stuff.
Right.
And my mom was like, oh, the sequel's not as good, but she still rented it for me anyway.
Right.
So I just kind of like had the mindset of it's not going to be as good as the first one.
Right.
So
You just couldn't get over that initial reaction. Yeah.
But yeah, I only saw it once as a kid, so I kind of want to watch it and see.
Just see it. Yeah.
Yeah, like because it can't be that bad.
I just watched Big Adventure not too long ago. It's still funny.
Yeah,
like,
That's the thing is that Big Adventure was like it's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny scenes in there. So.
And then probably the most watched movie of my childhood, probably my entire life, I would say, is Batman '89.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, had the VHS, Watched it so many times as a kid, and
that was one of the few that when it came out on VHS, it was actually a reasonably priced VHS. Like it wasn't the super crazy $80.
See, I don't even remember that. I just remember we had the box. And the box was just all black with the crest on it, and it was just like, what's that?
Yeah.
And
that one and E.T. were big. So I think E.T. came out on VHS in '88. So it was like a good 6 years after it was released.
Yeah.
And that was one you could buy for like $25, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to just rent it.
Because if Batman '89 was 89,
it probably came out in 90.
I think it probably came out in either
it always took about a year to come on video. So
because I think Batman Returns was either 91 or 92.
I think it was 92.
Yeah. So it probably took them 2 years.
Yeah, because Batman came out in summer of '89, I believe.
Yeah.
So
So it was probably either 90 or 91 for the VHS.
Oh yeah, we definitely have it. My mom probably still has that
copy. I'm pretty sure that is for sure still in the media console back home. But I've watched that billions of times. And I still watch it. I still
get a kick out of it. Yeah.
I still like to go back to like the Michael Keaton ones, and even like the Val Kilmer and Batman and Robin, those ones. Like everyone shits so much on the Joel Schumacher ones, but even when you go back to Batman Returns, it was starting to get like in that direction.
Sure.
And I mean, of course, like now after like Dark Knight and everything, Batman '89 it's kind of campy in comparison, but so I feel like as bad as Joel Schumacher did, he does get like a really bad rap, especially considering they were all kind of campy.
In their own way.
Yeah, but just like Batman and Batman Returns looked so much darker.
Sure.
And I guess Batman Returns did have like child abandonment and stuff, but
the Penguin scenes are really dark.
And like he kind of went biblical with like trying to murder the firstborn of everyone in Gotham.
Yep.
It was. They were dark.
Oh yeah. It definitely, they hadn't made a Batman movie since '66, so anything in '89 was going to be a lot darker. And then, of course, you get to Batman Begins. But so if you had to pick a Joker, are you picking Nicholson or? Yeah,
that's rough. I liked Heath Ledger.
Okay,
I think I'd go Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Although, without that Jack Nicholson Joker to like kind of character up that first Batman.
Yeah.
Because Michael Keaton as Batman wasn't super interesting.
No.
And, like, as a kid, watching, like, a superhero movie, like, it wasn't a big action movie.
No, not at all.
The fight scenes, especially compared to now, were so, like, he would barely punch and kick.
Yeah.
And, like, that was about it. He, like, wasn't very mobile.
It was his gadgets.
Yeah.
And the car.
The awesome car.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't a big action movie.
No, which is interesting if you watch it
considering
again.
It was a summer superhero movie. It wasn't.
Well, that's like the first Superman in '78 wasn't that much of an action movie until the second one when he got all the Krypton villains, and then it was actually a good action movie. Yeah. But even that was kind of haphazard. So that's a good one. Good. Nobody's picked Batman '89. So
how is that possible?
I know. Good one. Good job. All right. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
All right, we're back, and my other brother Brian's back. Welcome back.
How you doing? Thank you.
We're going to talk about your childhood.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
We have a long couch right here. So
tell me about your mother.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk about your favorite movies as a kid, the ones that you watched over and over again, whether it be on TV or VHS or cable. So just what was in your DNA as a kid when it came to movies?
Let's see. So I only thought about 2 or really like 2.5. One's a cheat, but I'll explain it. So first of all, Return of the Jedi was probably my favorite as a kid because I was thinking about it. Like Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back are my favorite of the Star Wars trilogy. Sure. But I was a kid when Return of the Jedi came out, and that was probably when I was like old enough to be like more geeked out about the release of that movie.
You knew it was coming out.
I knew it was coming out. Like I was, I liked Empire a lot, and then I was really excited for Return of the Jedi. And like we went on the first day and lined up, was lying around the block, and it was a lot of anticipation. I even remember I bought there was like a picture book, storybook, and I read that, and like it spoiled the movie, but I didn't care. I was really, really excited for it.
Did it come with the record?
No, it wasn't one of those. But I had a lot of Disney ones like that as a kid. Or
remind me
with the cassette tape.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Remind me. I'll tell you.
So we listened to them in the car. Yeah. So Return of the Jedi was the big one, and for a while I would consider it my favorite movie and favorite of the trilogy. Because I loved all the stuff with Luke and his father.
Yeah, that's right.
Should I reveal it?
Thanks for giving it away.
Spoiler alert. Well, I didn't yet.
No, you didn't do what you go through wine. It's like, I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. Darth Vader's father. Yeah. So even though the end of Return of the Jedi was spoiled for me, I still thought it played out really well.
Sure.
I liked all the battle scenes a lot. They were really cool, and I think that the special effects at that time were the best of the three movies. Yeah. Probably. Maybe Empire is right there too. But,
it is. Yeah. And the Ewoks were.
The Ewoks were like at the time as a kid, you can kind of identify with the Ewoks because there's like, hey, like these kind of like kid-like creatures are taking down Empire. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And now it's kind of like, okay, there's a kids movie, but
sure. And Jabba and
Jabba. I mean, the rescue from his palace and Jabba's a great really gross out.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun. The pit.
That's right.
I remember playing a lot as a kid. I don't know if it was before or after Return of the Jedi, but there's always you'd have a squirt gun battle or something over a pit, quote unquote pit. Just don't fall into the pit.
I remember going to an early birthday party where they actually had the lightsabers with the noises and everything. That was awesome. Yeah.
So
my story about Return of the Jedi is I didn't want to go to swim lessons during the summer, and so my dad bribed me by buying those book and record sets for Return of the Jedi, and I think E.T. too.
Yeah.
And I finished my swim classes just to get that. So it was a big deal.
Gotta go get it.
Yeah, I used to love those things. Those book and record sets.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't have them for Star Wars. Other than I just don't know. We had them for Disney movies.
Sure.
I think probably so both my sister and I could listen to something in the car on long trips.
Exactly.
It wouldn't just be me because my sister probably liked Star Wars, but she wasn't like a fan or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was definitely
that was the number one. I think, and it was kind of remained in my consciousness kind of throughout childhood.
Sure.
Until maybe high school or whatever. The other one would be Footloose, which I probably saw. I guess it came out in the '80s, late '80s. I saw it in the theater. Yeah. So mid-80s. Saw it in the theater, liked it, and then a friend of my dad's or a coworker or someone had recorded it off HBO, and I think it was that movie and maybe another couple movies, and you just here you can permanently borrow this tape.
Yeah.
So we did, and we watched Footloose a lot.
Yeah,
it was just kind of one of those because we didn't have cable until the '90s when I was in high school.
Same with me. Yep.
So basically, it was whatever we could see from a VHS, or renting a VHS. But we owned several VHSs that were recorded from TV or cable.
Yep,
some with commercials, some without. So Footloose was one in heavy rotation, I think.
Yeah.
It's just such a good movie. I mean, it's cheesy but good, and
it's fun. Yeah,
yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
And did you have the soundtrack for it too?
Oh yeah, we had it on LP.
Oh, nice, nice. We definitely
I think we recorded a lot of our LPs. We ended up recording to tape so we could listen to it in the car.
You could dub it. Yeah, it's funny. So going back to Return of the Jedi. When I was a kid, I loved the first four Rockies.
Yeah.
And I watched those over and over again. Yeah. But I enjoyed 3 and 4 the most as a kid because I think it's the most, quote unquote, action. But as I got older, 1 was definitely the better movie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I saw 3 in the theater. I probably liked that one the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. T and Hulk
Hogan. Yeah. It was a big show. And
then 4
I didn't see in the theater, but I watched
it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't think my dad was interested or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It actually made, I think David Gelber and I were talking, it made, I think, the most money of any of the Rockies.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think probably the hype for that was probably pretty big.
The hype and obviously the Russian Cold War.
Right, Rocky's going to beat the Russians.
Yeah, exactly. Well, supposedly in the new Creed, Sylvester Stallone wrote the next screenplay for Creed, and he's going to somehow bring back Ivan Drago into the script. So we'll see what happens. It's perfect timing.
The broken down Ivan Drago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he killed his dad.
His son,
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Okay, so what's 2.5?
So 2.5. So we had one of these recorded VHSs from cable was the documentary of the making of Thriller.
Oh, yeah.
Which was I think it was just an hour long. So it wasn't really a movie, but it was kind of a movie.
Yeah.
And it had at the end of it the 15-minute version of the Thriller video.
Right.
So it was the...
John Landis, I think.
Yeah, John Landis directed it. So the whole thing was like, you know, they went through the makeup and then like the choreography and they showed like different parts of the, you know, just the making of it. It was really cool.
It's really well done.
And
it's actually worth
like, because we were
out.
like my sister and I and a couple of our friends that were our age like loved Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah,
we played Thriller all the time. So we watched when we got that tape, we just would watch it a lot, and then we'd listen to Thriller after that. And dance around. And,
No, it's a great album. That's like one of the more iconic videos. Those 3 videos, Beat It, Thriller, and Billie Jean were all you know on heavy rotation. Yeah. I remember watching that too. I remember in kindergarten specifically, a girl had on ViewMaster the whole Thriller video. You could watch it on ViewMaster.
Cool. I didn't know they did videos on.
They
ViewMaster. Did. I do. Yeah, I watched some. Or not watch, but there were a lot of. I think it probably had like Spider-Man or Captain America, kind of like ViewMaster, like comic book ViewMaster.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of funny how primitive it was, but it entertained us. So.
Yeah, it was. So I don't know. I couldn't think of many others. I mean, there were probably some other movies that I saw a lot, but I don't remember because not having cable and not really having a DVR or something that like easily or Netflix. Like now, my son's already seen Cars 3 or 4 times.
I know.
Finding Dory's seen like 12 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nuts.
Well, I mean, I don't think kids appreciate how, you know, how difficult it was. I mean, if you didn't have cable and you didn't have a VCR, you were at the mercy of whatever TV had.
Yeah,
and
TV was horrible.
Yeah.
You had to watch it, all the commercials.
That's right.
Even, we would even record stuff off TV. So,
absolutely.
So I remember, I think they did show the Star Wars trilogy off TV.
Mm-hmm.
This was not long before they released it to, like, until it was, like, an affordable price on VHS. So I remember watching, like, the recording of the original Star Wars, and it was just kind of terrible because one, it was off TV.
Yes,
we didn't have cable, and so it was like the blurry lines from the antenna. Plus, it's edited. Plus, there's commercials. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Kills the flow. It's amazing. Like we'll have a movie Friday here, and commercials come on.
Yeah,
we're so spoiled now, but. I mean, most of our video collection before we got the video camera, which acted like a dubbing station, were recorded off TV, and it was always kind of you just dealt with it. So all right, as always, thank you for your memories.
Yeah,
Enrica's back.
Hi.
So we're going to talk about your childhood.
Yay.
And all the fun memories from that, and all the fun movies that you watched over and over again as a child. So I'm looking forward to this. One of them I know, but I'm also curious to hear what the other ones were. Besides.
Definitely. I mean, this is a very meaningful episode to me because I'm very attached to my childhood.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I didn't have television. I didn't have cable TV. So all we had were movies.
Right.
And we would rent movies from either the video store or take them out of the library on VHS. And we would copy them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Using 2 VCRs. We would record the video onto another blank VCR and label it, and we have probably hundreds and hundreds of VHSs still at my parents' house, just pirated off of movies we would get out of the library. And you don't have television, so we would just watch the same ones
over and over,
over and over and over and over. And when you do recordings like that, sometimes the quality isn't the greatest. Sometimes you cut off portions.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are some of these movies are my favorite movies, but they're potentially like
not the
cut off versions.
Yes, that's what you know.
And there's so many, I don't even know where to begin. Like, the first one is obviously Free Willy.
Yep.
It's a big part of my identity, in fact. Like, I used to run around pretending to be the little boy. Jesse, I had a harmonica. I still have, he has a necklace in the story with a little ceramic whale. I have the exact replica.
Nice.
And sometimes I still wear it. Like, this is how important it is to me.
This is good. And you've seen all the sequels, but the very first one.
It has Michael Jackson in it and the soundtrack, and the kid is just... The Ride a Whale sounded great.
Yes.
It's kind of dark. Like, he's a troubled kid.
Yeah.
He winds up working at this, aquarium and making friends with this whale, and he wants to free the whale. And it's just, I love it.
It's not as happy-go-lucky as you think.
Totally not. I think I was invested in the story of this animal.
Yeah.
And, like, getting it free. But I loved it. I watched it over and over again, and we have, like, videos of me as a kid being like, will you put Free Willy on for me? I just want to watch Free Willy again. Like, begging my sister to put it back on. Because I would watch it to the end.
Yeah.
And I was 4. I didn't know how to rewind it.
So she needed to do that for you.
So she had to rewind it. So pretty much in all home videos, I'm either asking to watch Free Willy, I'm watching Free Willy, I'm pretending to be the boy from Free Willy.
Right.
I had a little purple backpack that I pretended was Jesse's backpack, and now my niece wears it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, you're passing the legacy.
It on. Yeah.
What they should have done is done the I think it was SLP, the setting, and then they could have put 3 versions of it in a row. Then you wouldn't have to rewind.
That would have been awesome. Because that's all I ever wanted. Was to watch it on repeat.
On a loop. Yeah.
I loved it so much, so much.
Well, this reminds me. So you're mentioning like renting tapes, and we did the same thing. And there were certain. It depended on the movie company whether you could dub it or not, because they put some sort of recording blockage on it. So if it was Universal, it didn't work. We tried to record Back to the Future, and they'd have this flickering light. And so when you tried to watch it, it'd be all fuzzy.
Interesting. So we never had that, but we did have cable for the first 4 years of my life, I think. And I don't remember it, but we had Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 on VHS. But it was the TV version that we recorded off of the TV.
Actual TV,
So it had all the commercials that we later would cut out.
Yeah.
We would stop the recording during the commercial and then re-record it during the commercial. But the censored versions were funny because some of them aired on late night and they didn't censor it.
Sure.
And then there was a few that aired on ABC Family or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was back when I was 4. But that you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Over he's supposed to say asshole and it's dubbed over his word.
And then different the tone would change.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. I'm manure.
Yeah, exactly.
I stinking hate manure.
Yeah. You can still see them mouthing.
None of them made any sense. But that was another fave that my siblings and I would rewatch. The recorded version from TV of Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
We loved it so much.
Yeah.
And, that was one of our favorites.
So. I don't know about you, but I was still young enough before 2 and 3 came out. And so when it said to be continued, it felt like forever. And it was 3 or 4 years, but that felt like 10 years to me, so.
I was not alive
yet.
Mm-hmm. So when I was watching them, we already had 2 and 3 recorded on the shelf.
You were lucky.
And I could just take them out. Yeah. And then I would be so mad when I would pop them in and my brother forgot to rewind them. That was always a point of contention.
Be kind, rewind. You have to do that. Yeah.
Rika, you didn't rewind it. Now I have to rewind it. It's going to take 20 minutes.
I know. It took so long. In reality, it took 5 minutes.
It took 5 minutes.
But okay, so Free Willy.
The Back to the Future
Back to the Futures. What are the other ones?
Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
One. Mm-hmm. That's an iconic one in my family.
Yeah.
We've watched that one so many times. And we recorded that one off of VHS from the library. And then when we got older, we bought the VHS because we liked it so much. And we watched it so many times that it started to break.
Yeah.
Cut out and stuff and pause, and it was bad.
You need to use the tracking
button, and we would do that. We would put in the
cleaner?
The cleaner tape and everything.
This is all retro.
It.
Yeah.
And that was a big one. And we would act out the scenes from Princess Bride because we had the entire movie memorized. So we would watch that one over and over again.
Princess
Bride. We did Hook.
Yes.
Another one that was recorded from the TV, and cut off early. So I have no idea how Hook ends.
So you've never actually seen the unedited?
Never seen the unedited.
Wow.
Non-commercial. Because we didn't stop the recording during the commercials for that one, so I remember watching the commercials and having to fast forward through them on the tape. And there was one for Jiffy peanut butter.
Oh, sure.
And they were all Peter Pan themed because Hook was apparently a big movie. I don't know how big it was, but it was big. Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, huge people and special effects, and it was so good. Rufio, oh my gosh, I want to be Rufio for Halloween. So bad. It's a really hard costume.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we're going off on a tangent.
We would watch that one over and over and over, and there's a commercial where the little girl is talking about how she really wants to get a microwave. And she's like, I come home from work, my foots are tired, my feet are tired, and I think, I don't want to have to cook, I don't want to cook, so I go to Sears and I buy a microwave.
But that's a good point. So these commercials became almost part of the movie too.
Yeah, because we watched it so many times.
Yeah.
And I remember the Jiffy peanut butter one. And I remember the You go to Sears and you buy a microwave.
I'm going to have to try to look this up on YouTube. If I can find it, I'm dubbing it.
I tried. I think you'll have to put it in. But she was adorable. She was like this little, I don't want to have to cook. I don't want to have to cook. My foots are tired. My feet are tired. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And I remember that one very well. So Hook.
Hook, definitely. I remember seeing that in the theater.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah.
And then as I got older, I watched My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over. We recorded that one.
Two Utes.
That one was funny for us because we were from New York.
Yeah.
Like Italians from New York. So we got a kick out of all of the jokes. And then, that one was a big family one. And then I rewatched the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
But at that point, they were on DVD. I actually have the first 2 Harry Potters on VHS. And then I would get them for the DVDs for Christmas.
So when you go home to your parents, do you ever bust out the VHS?
Always.
That's cool.
That's all we do. We get back together and we're like, let's watch a movie. Yeah. And the old VCR is really broken.
Oh, no.
And when you can't rewind anymore, so you have to. It's a bad situation.
Do they have a separate rewinder? Because they used to have.
Yeah, now we have to use the rewind machine because the actual VCR with rewind capabilities, it's broken. So
they're gonna have to buy a refurbished one.
I'm gonna buy them a VHS.
Good.
Not a VHS, a VCR.
Okay.
Because they're like $9 now. They're so
you
cheap.
could totally find. Yeah, but the nostalgia factor's there because there's so much.
And we still have all the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of personal home videos on VHS, and it would just be really nice to rewatch them.
Yeah.
So
you could also buy one of the. I think they still have them where you just transfer your VHS to DVD.
Yeah.
You can just burn it. Yeah. Too.
Yeah, we're too lazy for that.
But at least the home movies you want to do that for.
Why you can just get a VCR and be old school,
Yeah, that's true. But you definitely want to keep all the old home movies.
Oh, yeah. And we have, it's just, they're still there. They're on the shelf, and there's so many of them. They're pouring out of the console. And that just reminded me that I want to get my parents a VCR for their anniversary.
All right. Well, you're going to have to keep listening to this, and this will be your constant reminder. You have to.
Yes, exactly.
So, do you have any more? Or those are your main ones?
I think that's the main ones, because as a kid, it was really all about
those main
Free
ones.
Willy. And also Balto. Once I went to kindergarten, I would act out movies with my friends, and Balto had come out.
Okay.
And I loved the character of Balto, the dog with that spunky spirit. And I would pretend to be Balto.
This is pre-Air Bud.
This is pre-Air Bud.
Yes.
I did love Air Bud.
If Air Bud was out when you were that age, you would have been all about Air Bud.
I didn't rewatch Air Bud like I rewatched Balto.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to emulate Balto, and my friend was the sickly girl. So she would just lay on the bed and be sick, pretend to be sick and relax, and I would be running around on my hands and knees.
Wouldn't she be like, can I play Balto just once?
Yeah, can I please? But I was always Balto.
Well, that would make sense.
Because I was a
the
brat.
spunky one.
I was a brat.
Okay.
I just insisted that I be the protagonist at all times.
Okay, so Brian Provenzali was just on the podcast, so you're going after him.
Okay.
Failed to mention A Christmas Story, which is both of our.
Sure.
So I want to mention Christmas Story because that was one of mine too.
Yeah, Brian's one of his favorites was A Christmas Story. Let's shout that out to
Thank
Brian.
you. So, not to take any of your time, but
no,
we're going to do that. We're all friends here. So
we're all friends. Yeah. Brian, I'm sorry you didn't get to talk about Christmas Story.
That's all right, but now he does. And he definitely listens, so this is good.
Good.
So,
yay.
Thank you as always, Enrica.
No problem.
All right, so it's been a while since Dane's been on the podcast, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. We thought we were recording for about 10 minutes, and it turns out I'm still new to this whole Skype / QuickTime thing, so we probably lost a lot of good stuff, but who cares? Dane is back. We had a fun conversation. We're going to keep going with it, but welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
So
I've lost my mojo now.
I know. We're never going to be able to get it back. I know. This is why it was so good being, in person, because none of this ever happened. But that's okay. It's a first for the podcast. So we're going to talk about your favorite movies as a kid, and you already know the list, but that's okay because we went through the first 3, but let's go through them again.
Yeah, so given that we're contemporaries, I believe, my childhood was in the 80s. These are all 80s movies.
That's right.
So my first one is The Boy Who Could Fly.
Right.
Which, as you pointed out, is kind of a Rain Man for kids, and it came a couple years before Rain Man.
Yeah.
So kind of got the jump on that Academy Award winner. But Yeah, so it's here's the tagline to that, and I have a tagline for each of these 5 movies.
Awesome.
So it's here it is. Between a silent boy and a beautiful girl lies an amazing secret.
Well, there you go. That's one way to put it.
I'll let the cat out of the bag right now.
Yeah.
In fact, the title does it for me. He can fly. That's his secret.
And we were discussing what the main character was in, and as it turns out, he was in Uncle Buck. He played Bug.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was in some kind of Disney TV movie about an android. I believe it was called Chip.
Yeah.
That's an acronym.
Right.
And that actually gets me to my second film on my list, Daryl.
Right.
Which is also an acronym. And you looked up what it meant earlier in the first round. Something, young life form or something.
He's a data analyzing robot youth life form, Daryl.
Yeah. And the human who plays him was also the main star of The Neverending Story.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's my second one. And the tagline to that is, becoming human was not part of the plan. Now they want to terminate him. Which is it's pretty dark.
Yeah, yes, it is. And like you were saying, the movie, watching it again not too long ago, it's slower than we remembered.
Yeah. Yeah, despite that scene where he's playing pole position very fast.
Right.
It's still a very slow movie.
Pole position, and then, of course...
But it has Michael McKean, and that's cool.
Yeah, and pole position in the baseball scene, so that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's also got a very corny theme song. I don't really remember how it goes, but it's dated.
Yeah.
So, okay, my third movie is The Peanut Butter Solution.
Which I haven't seen. Yeah.
The tagline to that is a hair-raising comedy adventure. And the reason for that is because it's about a kid who loses his hair due to being frightened wandering around a haunted house. And the solution to getting his hair back lies in a mixture of peanut butter and something else. And but it causes the hair to grow way too much and too fast. And it turns out he's one of a small army of kids who've had this happen to them. And it's all part of a plan by a guy who's trying to get them to grow hair so he can use in his magical paintbrushes. Yeah, it's pretty convoluted, but
now, how did you discover this movie?
I don't really know. If I could remember how I discovered that movie, I could do a lot of other things and really search my soul in it. Yeah. It's so long ago,
So it's probably just looking at the video store and this one came up or something like that.
Yeah. It's probably in one of those old VHS boxes that are like, 8 by 10 by 12.
Yeah.
Huge. So the fourth movie I have is Return to Oz.
Oh, yeah, definitely. With the young Fairuza Balk.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else might have been in that was famous. I don't know. The tagline to that is, and it's dated, it's an all-new live-action fantasy filled with Disney adventure and magic.
Which is true. Yes. I remember my sister definitely watched that one a lot, I remember.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And Fairuza Balk kind of stayed in theme across the years, being in The Craft.
Yeah. And The Water Boy.
Yeah. Even then, she was accused of being a witch, I think. By his mom.
Who was
Kathy away from that?
Kathy Bates played the mom.
Yeah. My fifth movie is Space Camp.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I think I saw that somewhat recently, and it's a little slow.
Yeah.
But it's not slow like Daryl.
No.
But it has a young Joaquin Phoenix, which is fun.
I think he was going by Leaf Phoenix at the time.
They call him what?
Leaf Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kate Capshaw's in that, and so is Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. Actually.
That's right, and Leah Thompson.
Right.
And John Travolta's wife, Kelly Preston.
Oh, right.
I
think she was either kind of a lead or Leah Thompson. I know.
I think Leah Thompson was more of the lead, but
yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, Kelly Preston kind of played like the prissy, wear a lot of makeup girl, where Leah Thompson was more of the serious astronaut type.
Yeah, so in reality, I kind of feel like a cast of personalities that different would not all be at Space Camp. But, they'd all be basically kind of nerdy and similar. But in any way.
But that was that one I had read up on this because I always liked it too as a kid, but it was poor timing for when it came out because of the Challenger explosion.
Oh right, that's right.
And it was the same year, so it kind of a lot of people just didn't want to see a movie about going up in space, especially with a teacher when that just happened.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember drawing a link between the two when I was young. I guess I was just so. That yeah, sure. When you're a kid, you don't really watch the news, but something like that was so vivid, you'd think that I recall in some. But luckily, I was insulated from that. It didn't tarnish my enjoyment of that movie, I guess.
Well, one movie we were talking about before we got cut off was Explorers. So.
Oh right, yeah. We were saying that it lies somewhere on the level of fame between like a Daryl and Flight of the Navigator.
Exactly.
Let's see. So I need to mention the tagline to Space Camp.
Yes.
An impossible mistake put them into space. The adventure of their lives will be getting back home.
Which is true.
Apollo 13 for kids.
All right. So every time you're on the podcast now, you're going to have the tagline. That's your prerequisite.
Yeah. I suggested that a little while ago you have a best tagline.
That'll be a fun one.
That's not. I don't know how much fodder that is for conversation. I mean, So.
No, it's just kind of like it would almost have to I'll do the research and just read them. So.
Yeah. IMDb has them all. It's cool.
Oh, that's badass. Okay, good. Yeah. We're gonna start. That's gonna be your hook every time you're on.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you have any other ones?
No, just some honorable mentions to the ones that everyone will know. Flight of the Navigator.
Yep.
Never Ending Story. Same kid as Daryl, which I think I mentioned.
Yep.
Yeah. Tough Guys. No, that's.
We were just talking about Tough Guys with Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster, and who was the main villain? We were just mentioning Eli Wallach.
Yeah.
So it's on Blu-ray now.
I just listened to that podcast, and that name is not familiar to me. Eli Wallach.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's probably not good, but.
No, definitely. He was definitely a character actor. Was in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my knowledge of movies kind of begins when my own life does, and so I'm not schooled in all the old school stuff. Got it.
Well, we're about the same age, so that's why we have a bond with 80s movies, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
all right.
I guess that's everything then.
No, awesome. Thanks again, Dane, and thanks again for being on the podcast. Hopefully we can keep doing this, and I'll figure out the technical issues. So this is a good trial run.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
I'll talk to you later.
Cool. Thanks, man. Okay, we're back, and Samantha's doing her research, even though she really doesn't need to do research for this week. But we're going to talk about your favorite childhood movies. So your favorite movies as a kid.
So it is plural. I can talk about
you can
a few.
Yes.
I don't know how to
I tried to do one, and then people I can't choose one.
I can't choose one, because there's different ones. There's cartoons, there's live action. So, yeah, I have a few.
Okay.
And this will give away my age. 90s child here. So, I was trying to think of movies that I had on VHS and I watched a lot and that I actually remember watching all the time. And one of my favorites was it's the Miyazaki movie Kiki's Delivery Service.
Never heard of it. You have picked one that nobody has said.
Oh, yes.
So what is this?
So it came out in the late, when was it? I wanted to get the details because I haven't seen this movie in years, but it was my favorite when I was a kid. And it came out in 98 in the English dub because it's a Japanese Studio Ghibli movie. And so it's actually voiced by Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, really?
And it's called Kiki's Delivery
Interesting.
Service. I don't know if there's a correlation there.
That's a good 3 years before Spider-Man.
Yeah. The English title is Kiki's Delivery Service, and it's a movie about this young girl. She is a witch, and she has a talking cat, and I love anything with witches and weird stuff. So it's it started when I was young. So she's a young witch, and so she has this cute little talking cat, and she flies around on her broom around town, and she starts a delivery service. So I think she delivers baked goods or something for people in town, and it's just a really sweet movie. I always remember the big climax at the end was there was this sort of blimp type thing that exploded, and I was reading the summary online to see what it actually is, but it's just some sort of airship. So there's an accident, and then she has to rescue her friend, and the big drama of the movie is that like she loses her flying powers and she loses her magic for a little while. Like she can't talk to her cat and she doesn't know why. But then when this accident happens, she gets her magic back and she rescues her friend and she can continue with her little delivery service.
So you said it was a series or was?
It's a Studio Ghibli movie. So Miyazaki has like a million movies, which I've never really watched all of his movies.
Okay.
But yeah, what are the big ones like people know about? There's like Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke.
So did you watch all those or just the main one?
No, I just got this movie. I have a feeling like it was probably given to me, and it was like, oh, the movie's about a young girl with like magic powers and. My family, it was always about they like to give me movies, like wanted to encourage me to watch things that were a little more educational, or like I would learn from, or that were kind of different with strong like role models. So
not Air Bud.
Yeah, I probably watched those too.
Okay, good.
But I remember this one I really loved it. I watched it all the time. And it's really sweet, and I think everyone should watch it.
Okay, and you're going to go back and watch it?
I'm definitely going to rewatch it soon, because it was so good.
That's what this is all about.
And, yeah, and it's just really cute. Like, it has the cute little animation, like the anime style, so...
Cool.
Anyway.
Okay, that is you have your own. Like, you always pick the ones that nobody has, and that's good. So what are the other ones that you have?
The other ones, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in this podcast before, but the live-action 1996 movie Matilda, another girl with magic powers. I don't know what was wrong with me. I clearly wanted magic powers when I was 7. But yeah, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. I will watch it whenever it comes on TV still. It's so funny.
It still holds up for you.
It's there's a little horror in there because Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress of the school, is just frightening woman, and she locks kids in the chokey in her office, and it's great. And I always liked Matilda's powers and her cute relationship with her teacher, and I wanted to be a teacher when I was little, so I always thought it would be kind of cool to work in this school, even though it was kind of frightening. And like Danny DeVito's in it. Yeah, it's just a weird movie, but it's cute. And
what was the actress? What was Matilda in besides that?
It's her name is Mara Wilson, and she's really just done a few things. So she was in Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right.
Yeah, America on 34th Street, and then now she got into academics.
Oh, okay.
After that, so she writes. I'm looking at her wiki page right now. But yeah, she does writing. And
so she was just basically a child actress.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, she did child acting in like the early 90s, and hasn't really. I don't think she's done anything as an adult.
Okay.
Oh, she made a cameo. She had a cameo on Broad City.
Oh, there you go.
Did a voice on BoJack Horseman. Okay. So.
But that's it. Yeah, that's interesting because I totally remember Mrs. Doubtfire. So,
Yeah, so cute. So that was one of my other big ones.
Okay.
What else? Also, Anastasia. The cartoon.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like a psychological analysis of my childhood. So I like characters with magic powers, and then I like my favorite princess movie is one where she was involved with this weird, creepy Rasputin character, and the family's killed.
So you're trying to say nothing's changed in your movie taste at all? Or did you like period pieces and things like that?
Yeah, and this is another one I haven't seen in ages, but I remember I had the VHS, and I would watch it all the time. It has an excellent cast, actually.
Who's in it?
Meg Ryan plays Anastasia, John Cusack, Christopher Lloyd, Kelsey Grammer, Bernadette Peters, Angela Lansbury.
That is a great cast.
So, yeah.
And what year did it come out?
In 97.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I haven't seen this in probably since I was that age.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have a feeling which your weekend is going to.
I'm going to try to find Anastasia online.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But yeah, she like, is she the prince? I don't remember if she knew she was a princess or not, but basically she's like buddies up with this guy and they like go on a little journey and there's songs and it's really cute.
Cool.
And yeah, I just remember the intro is really scary or kind of scary, but like Rasputin like shows up and it's like all this ice and there's like talking about his soul and curses and things.
So this was the foundation of Samantha's movie history. So this is good.
That's what I watched.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's the big three that came to mind. I bet if other people, if I was here with other people, some other ones would show up. But yeah, I did watch all the like Disney princess movies.
Sure.
But like there were I was like a kid when the big like revival of
came back.
Yeah, you had Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
Pocahontas, Mulan.
Yeah.
It was like all in a row. So I had all of them, but yeah.
Those are all
These
good.
three had a little
And it's interesting because the wide range VCRs were all prevalent in all of our lives. So that's what was interesting.
Yeah.
Which is good.
No DVDs.
I know.
No streaming.
Well, it's funny because I'm pretty much, I haven't interviewed my mom, but I pretty much guarantee hers was Wizard of Oz, and she would just either watch it on TV all the time or actually go to the movies and see it when it was re-released.
And probably the reason people of certain generations enjoy those movies is because they could watch them.
Exactly.
It's before you could rent or buy whatever movie you wanted. You had to deal with whatever was played
on regular TV.
And they play Wizard of Oz all
Exactly.
the time.
Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, stuff like that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Or the creature features, like what Malin loves. So,
That's fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Samantha. All right, the dynamic duo is back. Thank you so much, Stephanie and Lindley.
Hello. Wow, you went into like radio personality.
That was pretty
impressive.
I like that voice.
Good.
We're just talking about I can turn it on and off.
It wasn't a different voice, but it was just you're here, you're in the moment, you're presenting.
You realize that was my major.
I know.
So
I know.
usually I'm
like,
okay, hi Lindley, how's it going?
That's how you usually talk.
Like, it's Lindley Wellman. Come on down. All right, for this week, we're going to get into your childhoods and talk about your favorite movies of your childhood. Now, again, both of you guys are pre-VCR for the most part.
Yes.
So that's good. And
yes, point that out, Brian.
Quick, edit, erase.
Back, so
okay. Pre-DVD.
I owned 8-track tapes.
Yeah, I remember 8-tracks, so we're all about the same. So, but you did live through VCRs too. Yes. That's fine. So we're gonna have a little bit of both. So where you could only watch what was on TV or in the theater, but you also, as you got a little bit older, you had your VCR and you could rent that. So what were your go-to? I need to watch this movie over and over again whenever it's on, or I need to rent this.
Yeah, no, so for me, I mean, I know you've heard me talk about it before. I've seen The Wizard of Oz. I estimate at least 150 times in my life, if not more. I can recite it from beginning to end just in my mind. The Wizard of Oz had this profound effect on me when I was little. It would show every single year around the holidays. They would re-air it. And then once when my grandfather got one of the first VCRs, because my grandfather worked for the CIA. So long story, another day.
We're gonna have to interview just on that stuff.
He brought home this, VCR. It was like one of the first ones, and he recorded The Wizard of Oz for me. So that's all I wanted to do was watch The Wizard of Oz. And there's just so many lessons learned in that. But the biggest one, and Oprah Winfrey says it far better than I do. It's just you had the power all along. And I think that was the thing, right? Like we all do. We go through life thinking that we need all of these things and, whatever that might be, whether it's your spirituality or money or your career or whatever, and that's your yellow brick road, right? You've got to travel on that. You get to your destination just to find out that, you had it all along.
Right.
And
you and my mom, that's my mom's all-time favorite movie. So, and she said 400 times she's seen it. So
oh my gosh.
I don't know if I believe her, but...
No, it's so therapeutic for me. Like when times are bad or I'm really sad or down, I can just close my eyes and it's a meditation to just begin at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz with Dorothy running, with this and checking her basket and Toto and come on and they go into the house and I'll play the whole movie in my head and then I don't know, I just kind of relax. There's so many phrases from the film I still use to this day. Like whenever anybody's being evil in a room, I'll say things like, "Be gone before somebody drops a house on you."
Did you know that Toto was really a female?
Toto was a female?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You knew that?
Yeah, I read that before.
Oh, see?
I love that.
I didn't know that either. So.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Well, so mine would also be The Wizard of Oz. When you say a movie that you watched over and over again as a child, we watched it every year, right? And I still watch it we don't watch it throughout the year, but we'll watch it every Thanksgiving on Apple iTunes. So I don't have to, we don't have to wait for it to air. It's a little sad for me to watch it now because my mom is dead. So it's like watching it with my daughter. Yeah. Makes me a little sad.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't.
Of course.
Oh my God, I'm feeling emotions. Anyway, so that's,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that movie is something else. The other one for me was Mary Poppins.
Oh yeah.
So I've seen Mary Poppins at least that many times as well, and we had, it's so interesting because my dad was he struggled with alcoholism. He was a Vietnam veteran and the post-traumatic stress coming back from the war and everything that happened with him, and we just my brother and I we just had dad issues. And there was just something about, Jane and Michael.
We're turning into therapy sessions.
I know, a little bit, right? But, Jane and Michael, like, we...
Do you want me to get a couch for you guys? This is why we do this. No,
I'm telling you, these movies are powerful, profound. But what's crazy and gives me goosebumps is... for both of us, just our parents they were young parents and they really didn't know how to keep us safe, and that wasn't their fault. They did the best they could with what they had. But, we needed a nanny, and Mary Poppins was sort of this surrogate, nanny for us. And then the thing that gives you goosebumps, because you guys, those of you that understand what I'm about to say, you'll know this, P.L. Travers' autobiography, the story of how she wrote Mary Poppins. The father was an alcoholic. Yeah. And it was incredible. And just when I saw, what was that movie called with
Finding Mr. Banks? Or
Finding Mr. Banks.
Or Saving Mr. Banks?
Yeah. I did the ugly cry in the movie theater. I cannot believe nobody warned me about that. I swear I cried, I think, for at least... I could, I get all choked up just thinking about it now. That movie and everything that it meant to my brother and I mean, she wrote it under so many of the same circumstances. Yeah. It was absolutely extraordinary. And it's communicated, and that's the power of great art.
So how old were your parents, when they had you guys?
So, my mom was 20, my dad was 22.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had only been back from his last tour in Vietnam. He was still there when my mom, he was here and then he left. My mom was pregnant in Oceanside, California, which is right near San Diego. And my dad got home, and it was really rough for us for a while. Yeah.
So movies were the release. Movies were the Well, that was back then when they'd actually re-release Disney movies to the theater.
It was every 7 years.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I remember specifically my mom okay, Snow White's out now. We have to go to the theater.
I remember Snow.
Yeah, of course. Or Peter Pan.
Trips is that we saw.
Pete's Dragon. I remember seeing Pete's Dragon. Yeah, it's not as good as I remember. Yeah, that one doesn't hold up as well.
Yeah. There was also, and I never saw it in the theater. I only saw it on the television set. But Escape from Witch Mountain.
Yeah, Danielle actually picked that one. Yeah,
I love Escape from Witch Mountain. Yeah. And now I watched it with my kids. It doesn't hold up now.
It does.
But as a kid, I loved it.
There's a remake of it with The Rock. The Rock?
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think there's a remake. You should watch that one with him. I think I didn't watch it, but my kids watched it.
Yeah.
They weren't impressed.
Okay. No, they liked it. It was a few years ago.
But that Sunday night Disney movie was pretty profound.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Because you had the Apple Dumpling Gang, and you had all of these, and they were all sort of old-timey.
Freaky Friday.
Just like Main Street on Disneyland. Everybody looked all old-timey with the white ruffled Victorian.
I still love, you can search on YouTube for the opening to that.
Yeah.
I just love listening to that.
It was always on ABC every Sunday night. The Wonderful World of Disney.
The Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah. No, I watched a lot of those movies, the 70s movies and Disney live action movies. Yeah. They're a lot of fun.
It's a treasure trove of good stuff. And then there was Star Wars. We saw Star Wars in the movie theater, and then there was no other way to see it for a while.
Mm-hmm. But that was the first. That was going to be my other pick. Mm-hmm. So thanks for stealing with it. No, no, because it's the first movie that I remember going to see multiple times in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Everybody, you went to see it 10 times or something like that. And everybody counted. You'd get to school and say, "I've seen it times. I've seen it 15 times. And there was always like you would one up each other with that one. Yeah.
But I think that's why the movie industry is really in trouble because there was no event to actually go to the theater to see it unless it's a super box office IMAX type.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know it's going to be streaming in 3 months.
Yeah,
so
true.
Why spend the $20?
Yeah. I mean, there is that niche culture of whatever.
But it's not mainstream anymore.
It's not mainstream because you have... That's what's funny is there's all these other forms of entertainment that we didn't have back then, but they were even... Yeah, that podcast that I told you about... Hollywood and Crime.
Yes.
Sorry, this is a tangent, but they were saying how one of the women who went, they go out dancing.
Yeah.
It was very common for these two sisters to go out dancing late at night without their husbands.
Yeah.
Because there was no other forms of entertainment.
Right.
Like you didn't have TV. You went out. This was during the 40s. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's what they did. And it wasn't unusual for these women to be out dancing by themselves without their husbands.
Right.
One of them ends up dead. That's what the story is about. So, yeah, it was like she wasn't out on the town doing anything nefarious. She was like, it was all up and up. And and it was like, oh, that's so true. Like, what would you do without all this shit that we have now to just keep us home? There's no reason to go outside anymore.
Well, even books have changed because I don't think, even as great as Mark Twain was and Jules Verne, you can't be that wordy. You can't write a 500-page book. It's not going to fly. You have to write a 200-page book because people aren't going to sit there and read a Harry Potter being the exception. But you can't be as wordy because people don't have I can watch this. I can do whatever.
So you can't get it published as easily. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, back when Mark Twain was writing, there was no radio. There was no records. There was nothing. So that was your source of entertainment. So things have adapted.
So they say all books now have to be written for an 8th grader. Like,
pretty much the attention span.
If you want something, if you want a mass market paperback, experience, and to get on the New York Times fiction bestseller.
Yeah.
You're looking at writing, to a 13-year-old in the United States.
That's why Harry Potter's amazing.
The comprehension levels, beyond that are just, it's a smaller audience that's going to gravitate towards your books. The one thing I will say about my kids, I have a 10 and a 12-year-old, and when they love a movie, they go back to the theater multiple times to see it. The Beauty and the Beast.
You'll take them back to the theater multiple times to see it.
The Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. I know critics weren't crazy about it, but my kids loved that movie.
Yeah.
And I think Grace has seen it 4 times now.
That's awesome.
In the movie theater. Yeah. So it's kind of cute. And I like that experience for them too because I did it too.
Yeah.
It's also too expensive to go multiple times. I mean,
Well, it's like for a matinee for 4 of us, it's like $60.
Yeah,
right,
which is insane. Yeah.
And I can't just buy the movie ticket. No. I need all the snacks.
Oh yeah,
I need everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point.
I told when I was a kid, my mom would never buy the popcorn or the candy.
Yeah.
My mom we would take a big giant grocery paper bag and put it and walk in. It was. I mean, I wasn't embarrassed about that at the time, but it took me until I was at least in my early 30s where I would start buying popcorn. I was like,
why would you pay for this?
Buy popcorn. I mean, I wouldn't sneak it in. I just would be like, oh no, that's so expensive. I'm not gonna. And then I was like, wait, I could just buy this.
Yeah.
Well,
especially candy. I mean, because the candy was no different.
We always got the candy from the
Walgreens.
Exactly. Whatever I was gonna say Longs. Whatever the local liquor store or grocery store was, Safeway or Longs, and then pop the popcorn in the old timey popcorn, and then.
So I get buying popcorn there because it does taste different at the movie theater.
It does.
Whatever the grease that they put in there.
It's good at the movie theater.
And you know what it's great with is Cabernet. And now that so many movie theaters are selling wine.
Sneaking in wine. Buy wine at movie
you
theaters.
can buy wine now at movie theaters.
Yeah.
And perfect movie buttered popcorn and a glass of Cabernet. Oh, that is a match made in heaven.
The best theater, I still think, and you can get wine there. We have to do a movie outing. Is that one that we saw Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Where I sat next to the old man.
Shoreline. Where all the Google bites are there.
Everybody was. Yeah, there's all these discarded Google bites, but it's the best theater. I get. And that's probably why, because of Google. It's like the best theater.
Maybe
it's the nicest.
It never used to be like that.
Seat theater. No, they really did it recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So it's funny. So going back, you guys' picks are very heartfelt and emotional, and mine is Airplane and Blues Brothers and Back to the Future, and see how
funny.
And they're still my favorites. Like nothing has changed.
Yeah, what from those type of movies? Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, what was a crazy movie that we all loved when I was a kid? Like we were obsessed with. Like basically when I was like in 4th grade was Dudley Moore's movie. What's
called?
Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur, and it's just about an alcoholic.
Totally inappropriate.
But it was a total. I mean, we all loved Dudley Moore. We loved that movie. We just watched it obsessively. Like I had one friend that had the VCR that had the movies. And I mean, how inappropriate is that movie for? And I watched the Russell Brand remake. And
it's horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah,
it was not good. Not necessary to remake that movie. Not because it was such a great movie. It's just like this movie sucked then, and it still sucks.
Well, you're a lot with your kids. Like my parents were with me. Like they're way over. Like if there's some nudity, they didn't care. If there was swearing, they didn't care. They were more about quality. So seeing Animal House was fine.
Yes.
Seeing Blues Brothers was fine. Airplane, that's fine. But they wouldn't let me watch like. Arch of the Back type movie. I had to get that in. But like, they wouldn't let me watch that stuff.
Did they let you watch Porky's?
No, I had to go to a friend's house who had
that is always the sign. Did your parents let you see Porky's?
I was not allowed to see anything.
Yeah, I was not allowed to see Porky's.
I was not allowed to see Rumblefish.
Wow.
When I was like 12 or 13 when it came out, I don't know how old I was.
What about The Outsiders?
No, The Outsiders I was allowed to see.
Okay.
And then Rumblefish, my mom had to go see it in the movie theater because I loved all the S.C. Sinden movies, and then she went to go see it in the movie theater and thought there was too much teen partying and drinking. Too much making out or something.
Though I did have to see Top Gun in the movie theater with my parents. They had no idea there was going to be the whole take my breath away scene. So that was it. Talk about the arch of the back and the drooling and
Grace and Sophie saw that. They were like, ew! They thought that was the grossest thing they've ever seen.
It's PG.
Like, but like at the time we all thought it was so cool, and now looking back at it, no, it's not cool at all.
That's really funny.
Well, especially now. I mean, Kelly McGillis is a lesbian. Like she's not in. She wouldn't be. And who knows about Tom Cruise? So that it's just kind of an awkward scene. So
that's so funny.
That's really
There's
funny.
No chemistry.
Yeah. Somebody just wrote an autobiography about, and has this whole thing about how Tom Cruise. Oh, it's Booger, right? Who was Booger?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know who you're talking about. He was also in Better Off Dead.
He was in Revenge of the Nerds.
And Revenge of the Nerds,
Booger, he was Booger in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, Curtis...
That's one of your character actors.
Yeah, it's Curtis something.
He wrote an autobiography about his life, and I guess he was in a movie with Tom Cruise at some point in life.
Curtis Armstrong.
And Curtis Armstrong. And he talks about how Tom Cruise would never go out drinking with them ever.
Yeah.
Because he said he had to go back to his room and like pray and read the Bible. But then I guess one night he was walking by, and there's a line of girls waiting outside. And, the argument was Tom loved to get blowjobs and read the Bible. And then there was a lot of people that were like...
to bring up something
oh my God. But it was like the funniest thing is like, he got paid off. Somebody paid him off to put that into his thing just to scare people off the trail of Tom Cruise. In fact, being the gay lover of that creepy David Miscavige guy from Scientology. Sorry to Scientologists.
But the movie they were in was Risky Business.
Risky Business,
so,
yes.
And that was him dancing around in his underwear and everything. But yeah, and they probably didn't want the Hollywood Babylon thing probably for Tom Cruise. Because they probably saw a star in the making. But I love how Lindley's just under the table with the...
I'm not a just to throw it out. Blowjob. The arch in the back. I don't know what you said last time. Male.
Oh yeah, male orgasm.
Male orgasm?
No, she said it much. Male orgasm is fine. It was something else, right?
You can always rely on me to say something inappropriate.
This went from, no, it's not explicit, to now I have to change it to explicit.
This another inappropriate movie that I watched when I was like 10 that we loved also was Little Darlings.
Oh, yeah.
Little Darlings. They're at a summer camp trying to lose their virginity.
Jodie Foster, right?
Yeah. Is it? No, not Jodie Foster. It's Christy McNichol.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And is it Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster was also in Foxes.
Tatum O'Neal.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Christy McNichol and Tatum O'Neal.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, you should. Well, you would love it with your daughters. It's like summer camp. I think Tatum O'Neal's the rich one. Christy McNichol's the tough cookie in the streets. And then they're like in a contest to see who could lose their virginity first.
Yeah.
And then I think Christy McNichol does, but she lies about it because it was a horrible moment. Or I think Matt Dillon. It's Matt Dillon's first movie.
It is, yeah.
Oh, my God, for a 10-year-old girl. It was like, too much going on here.
Matt Dillon was in a lot of those early, like late 70s teen movies.
He was in all the magazines, the Teen Beat.
Yeah.
I think I cut out his picture and it was on my wall for multiple years.
That's what I spent my allowance on every single week was the latest Teen Beat or Tiger Beat or whatever.
Teen Beat, me too.
My wall was covered in pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just watched Over the Edge not too long ago, which is about real events in Foster City, California, where it was they basically created all these prefab homes
Yeah.
and didn't realize that they had nothing for kids to do. And so finally they just had enough and they started almost like rioting and like tearing down the rec center and everything. And it's kind of based on those events in Foster City, which is of all places.
Crazy.
So yeah, because they didn't realize that the population, there was a lot of teenagers there and they had nothing for them to do. So
there still is nothing to do in Foster City.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Hi, Uncle Daryl. So yeah. Yeah. So, what other movies?
I'm trying to think.
of other. I loved Peter Pan. Was probably my favorite animation that we would see.
Okay.
I still love seeing it. I love the ride at
Disneyland.
Yeah. I love the movie. I love even the versions. I love the book. Like I love reading the story, the original J.M. Barrie story. It's great. I love the Disney version, and I love the various versions that have
the live action with.
That wasn't when I was a kid.
What was her name? Kate.
The British one?
Yeah. Like, didn't
or
they do
New Zealand or something?
What was her name? She was famous for playing Peter Pan, basically.
Kathy Rigby.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I didn't watch that version.
With the Dorothy Hamill?
That was on stage. She had the Dorothy Hamill cut,
She
right?
did. All right, we're getting kicked out. Otherwise, we'd have many more.
Kathy Rigby. Is it Kathy Rigby?
I don't remember.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
This was fun.
Yeah, I know. Thanks as always, guys.
Thank you.
Under the table.
Bye.
Yeah. If you enjoy this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.